Okay, we'll start that one again. Right, so this is Tufel Shen, and today we're going to be looking at something a little different than what I've been doing recently, which is all the Minecraft stuff. Maybe something a little bit more gory, gutsy? Yeah, something like that. We're going to look today at GZDoom, which is a launcher. I'm going to explain all that in a second. Essentially what we're doing is we're playing the original Doom. Since Doom 4 is going to be out there pretty soon, we're seeing adverts on YouTube and various other places for it, and it's looking particularly exciting and all interesting, but we're going to have a look at some of the fan-made content, some of the mods out just now for the original Doom and how good they are. I have been playing this quite a bit recently, Project Brutality. You need some things first, and it can be a little bit confusing to begin with, so we're going to talk a little bit about it first. And I made this up in Word just quickly to show the stuff that we need. So, for Project Brutality, we need some prerequisites first. There are some things that are very important that you still need. Now, the only parts of the original games that you need are the original .wad files. Doom, Doom 2, TNT, and Plutonia, that was all of the original ones. These two were the final Doom mods, and these ones are pretty self-explanatory, really. Ultimate Doom is also classed as Doom 1, even though it contains Thy Flesh Consumed. And here is my folder directory, the way it actually works right now. And you can see I've got mine organized a very set way, but the WAD files that we're looking for, the MWADs, look like this. Now, if you don't happen to have your original WAD files lying around, or you didn't own Doom for some reason, or maybe you're just too new a player, you can buy them from Steam. There's probably abandonware sites out there that are advertising them for free, even though they shouldn't be doing. And of course, I'm not going to tell you that torrents don't exist for them, because they do. I just don't advise it. You know, we should show the guys at ID that we still appreciate the older titles, the classics. Anyways, we'll go more into this file structure in a second now, but we'll discuss this first. So you've got your original WAD files. Now we need a launcher. This makes it really easy to add the mods quickly, and it saves your settings, so you don't have to keep fiddling around with the command prompt to make them all work. This is ZDL, and basically in here you can, I forgot to rename that, I'll do that in a second. If we go into settings here, we can see you can add lots of different things. It's all customizable. We'll be discussing that more in a second. So you've got your launcher here, that's ZDL. GZDoom, which is your new engine or your source port. Basically, this replaces the original Doom engine. So it grabs the WAD files, which is your main system files. It stores most of the important information that makes Doom what it is. GZDoom translates that into you know, a visual image and makes it all work. But you still need the original source data from here. Then you've got the mod Project Brutality. Of course you're going to need that. We can't call it Project Brutality if we don't have the mod. It's nice and easy. I'll show you, you know, quick ways to get that to work in ZDL. I'm using the HD graphics pack. I think it's essential now. But be warned, you know, it does mean it's quite hardware intensive. More than you would think. I was getting frame drops on an i3 4th gen, and I was using a GTX 750 graphics card, so you're going to be pretty intensive. You're not going to be able to run this on an office machine. Maybe without the HD pack, maybe. So DoomMel, basically that brings in new audio tracks, so it makes the audio just as HD as the video. And then there's a load of extra map packs out there that give some wonderful extra flavor. Maps of Chaos is great because it modifies the original Doom 2 levels I mean, I'm quite a fan of the original. I don't like a lot of the extra map packs. There's just something missing for me. I like ones that take it up a notch. So Maps of Chaos is pretty good for that. It introduces new hidden areas inside the standard maps in Doom 2. Very helpful. Doom 1. Imagine every level on the episode Knee Deep in Dead, which I'm going to show you when we're ready, as one continuous level, where it doesn't stop when you press the button at the end of the stage. It just kind of seamlessly carries on the experience and moves you to the next area. Absolutely wonderful, except for the fact there's an enormous bug in mine just now, where I can't get the second and third episodes to work properly. It all completes them for some reason. It's a pain. I'll show you on the hope that one of the guys from the dev team actually gets to see it, because I've asked about it and I've not gotten anywhere yet. Hell on Earth Starter Pack. Absolutely love this one. It comes with Brutal Doom 2.0, which is it's another version of Project Brutality, but if you ask me, I prefer this. Some people prefer Brutal Doom, but I like the Project Brutality, which is basically the upgraded version. Okay, now we've got another one, which is just a standard map pack, which is Doom 2 Reloaded. Some of these are designed for, it's the Hell on Earth Starter Pack. It's designed specifically for Brutal Doom and the new things it brings to the engine, while as a lot of these other levels can be run on the standard version, even using the old engine. And of course you've got Plutonia 2 in these ones. They're again just generic map packs. I haven't played around with 2002 AD much. I did hear great reviews on it, so I put it in the list. Alright, I think we've talked enough about that. Let's actually have a look at ZDL itself and the packs and how they work. You'll notice here the way I've organized everything. I've used eWADs for external WADs. And you can see here some of the other ones, like Doom 2 Reloaded, you'll recognize there. You'll notice the HD pack and stuff like that. Things that I said were in there, and they're here. And GZDoom itself, which is the source port, is all running in here. And I've got the main WADs over here, just to keep things tidy. We'll ignore that one now. So in ZDL, when you actually bring it up, we're at 8 minutes already. Where did that time go? Right, HD pack, Brutality. There's the Doom 1 WAD, which will give us the continuous map pack that I was talking about. And that's the music attached to the Doom 1 mod, so that the music changes seamlessly as you move from level to level. In here we've got our source port, which is GZDoom, which is what we're running, which I said we were running. And here we get to choose our actual main WAD file, which it'll grab most of the data from, which in our case is going to be Ultimate Doom, or Doom 1 as it was when I'm going to stop this from picking a level, because I was using that for testing purposes. Now if I go into settings here, you can see I've got my source ports. That's where I would add them, just here, and then you add your source port with browse and find what you want. And you can do exactly the same thing with the iWADs, and then there's exactly the same thing down here with this. With the external files you can change the order, because sometimes the system will go unstable if they're in the wrong order. With mine, the way I tend to rig it, it doesn't seem to matter. You just stick it all in there and it just works. So we'll have a lunch and have a go, shall we? I've already set my controls and everything, so I don't need to worry about that. Go. It looks a lot better. You've got it. I'll play Knee Deep in Dead because most people will recognize it, even if they've just played the demo. There's a few new weapons, a few new extras, and a lot of fun in store. People should recognize it. Good at this. finishers are a lot nicer. Let's have Julius. You'll love the new weapons. If you've never seen this before, you'll be sitting there thinking, this is exactly what it needed. And I don't know about you, but it's well worth it. Now we'll show you what happens when you switch from level to level. How we do it in 11 minutes. Oh, we're doing fine. I'm not going to make it 5 times. I'm not always doing it too badly. One of the other wonderful things you get courtesy of Brutal Doom is grenades. Very effective. Oh, you notice the sounds are different too. I forgot to mention that. I'm so used to it now. There we go. Much nicer. Remember right, I have to go over here to get the secret. Well, we go to the switch, and normally you would expect level 10. Not quite. Not quite. You see what's the job to find the next level, which is just one. And the music just changed as well. That's pretty nifty. You got it there. Oh, my keys are all over the place. I really should go back to using a 360 controller. I find it a lot easier. Because now with the Brutal Doom options, there's a lot more controls. Oh, that's one of the new characters from Project Brutality. In there wondering how that acts. I think he's based on a Blakestone sprite. I think that's what he was based on. Chainsaw, yes we do. Yeah, chainsaw on this one. This is going to be wonderful. And then we got a horse, which we'll come to in just a second. Oh yeah, there's an enemy that's got to be killed here. I just saw the death sprite just slightly delayed on the recording system. I didn't realize it was so messy. Right, okay. 14 minutes, not bad. Holy crap. In a good kind of way. I forgot to mention I love the reload as well. Reload's wonderful. Another thing is really finishes are cool. If any of you love the GZDoom pet, yes, now, there's also dual fire modes, which are not really covered. I mean, I've set mine up so that the right mouse and left mouse do the two types of fire. But you also get various different iterations of weapons, which are achieved through upgrades, so you have to collect them. Oh, but the chain gun makes a lot of mess. And is well worth the effort. Oh, keys are replaced by these switches now. Because the levels are continuous, we can't have keys everywhere. Because it's like one giant level. So to get around it, we put switches in. I thought it was something like that. Oh yeah, the imps can put on the ceiling, by the way. I forgot to mention that too. It adds an extra layer of depth, and I think that's very impressive. Oh, good night. That's the other problem with the imps. Sometimes they can creep up on you because you go to the ceiling. I mean, you don't see them until they jump down behind you. Well, let's get the chainsaw, I guess, since we're making a lot of mess already. That chainsaw time. Good.
Ah, chainsaw! The great communicator!
Good cover. I'm not really too worried about taking a couple of hits in the meantime while I'm finding a way to an enemy. It's not too close to that barrel. That'll really hurt. 5, 18 minutes. Too high. Without any further ado, I think we better move on. We're nearly the end of the level anyway. That's why I left the chainsaw out. Forgot all about them. Works pretty well. And that's what happens when you forget about some of the hidden areas. Never mind. I think that'll do now. That's too bad, I suppose. It's a shame I screwed it up at the end. Right, so you get the basic idea. I think what I will do is I will point out exactly what happens if I go into Shores of Hell or Inferno. It just completes. And then I'll go through the level and I'll start it. And then, boom. Straight to the completion section, so you never actually get to play it. If I use a different mod, it doesn't happen. It only happens with Doom 1, which is a real shame, because it didn't happen until I decided I would force a completion of the Knee Deep in Dead by going through the portal, and then that's when it knackered up. You get the idea. It's been good fun. That'll do nicely, I suppose. If you want to give it a go yourself, you certainly can, and I've given you a quick insight on how to do that and how to get everything to run in ZDL. So hopefully you have good fun with that. And like I say, I hope somebody gets back in touch or sees this and just says, thanks a lot for showing me this. I wish I knew about this earlier. Because that's exactly the way I felt when I found out about it. I mean, I think Brutal Doom had already been out for about a year or two when I found out about it. And of course Project Brutality is a lot more recent, but as you can see we're already on version 2. There's been a lot of movement on it. And it's just such good fun. There's loads of extra weapons than what I showed you there. I will go through them in the next video on the subject, and I'll just talk about some of the weapons and things and what you can do. I'll use a different mod for that though, I think. Anyway, for the meantime, that's Evil Shen signing off, and hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with Project Brutality, especially now you know how to do it. And we'll see you in the next video, and have a good one.